is
Zaza. Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Wippa.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. An honour to be with you. Let's talk about etiquette for guests when they come around. First things first, should you take off your shoes? Some people have that rule.
Taking off your shoes. So, you know what? You might stamp out a couple of stains that you leave, or...
You know what I mean?
But you know what? The smell of some people's socks makes the house...
That's
The
true.
aroma's horrible.
What if you don't have socks on and you got really bad feet?
Yeah.
Stinky toe jam feet.
It'd be hard for you with your gout as well, and
Yeah.
just your swollen feet. That'd be tough for you.
I can't get my feet through half the doorways around town. It's not easy. Home etiquette's a big one on the podcast today. The rules for how to be the perfect guest and what you should leave if you are a guest. See what you think. It's on the podcast. Enjoy.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
A couple of rules, guys, and an etiquette expert has revealed the signs you should commit to when you go and visit somebody else's house. This one happened to me the other day because I got a phone call from a guy by the name of Matt DeGroot. He was with his wife Bronte and child Charlie, and they were around the corner. He said, "Mate, I might drop in." I said, "Yeah, of course, buddy. Don't be a stranger."
Surprise attack.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was panicking. I yelled out to everybody across the neighbourhood, there's a DeGroot in the area. Windows shut, doors were locked. People were screaming. It was unbelievable, like a tornado was about to hit. Then he arrived at the house. Ding dong. Hello, mate. Come in. Took his shoes off.
Oh, Denise Drysdale.
Oh,
was
no.
there.
Denise. No, Denise doesn't visit our
Ding
place.
dong,
much.
in you come.
All right. He took his shoes off. And I went, mate, you do not need to do that. Unless you're a tradie, right? And you might have dirty boots. And tradies will do this all the time. If they come around, they'll, politely take their shoes off at the front door.
Yeah.
Then you don't need to take your shoes off. I mean, you got to expect a bit of wear and tear in the house. You were saying your sister Holly does this. She has tiles in the house.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I mean, if it was new carpet or brand new floorboards, but I got 3 kids and they take a battering.
Yeah.
There's nothing your shoes can do to my floorboards.
Battering. Yeah, it is. I agree with you. There's nothing worse when, and just the way that you have to say, "Hey, before you come in, just take your shoes off."
Just quickly.
What?
Yeah.
What for? You've been living here for 5 years.
It's not a boat.
What,
You know the
what, are you about
giveaway?
to sell it?
A friend of ours, they have a little basket at the front door. So when you turn up and you think, oh, is that a small dog bed? I don't think you had a dog. No, it's a basket to put your shoes in.
Shoe basket?
Yeah.
No, but see, that's ugly in itself.
Having the
You
shoe basket.
When you walk into a house and you see 8 pairs of old shoes.
But really convenient if you're walking past and feel like nicking a pair of
There's
shoes.
people that have racks. There's the shoe racks as well. Have you seen those? Oh, you
What?
have,
You got a shoe- you got a shoe rack?
Yeah, we've got a shoe rack
What do you mean? At the front door?
at the front door, and we didn't realise every time people came over, they kept taking their shoes off, and we thought, oh, we must look so classy, no one wants to ruin our floors.
Yeah.
Then we realised they were putting them on the rack, and it implied we need you to take your shoes off. We don't. We've swapped it. There's a plant there now, but it was very embarrassing.
Yeah.
Where'd you
you
put
know-
the rack?
Like off to the side near the bins,
That's
For
the
any
first
junkies
thing.
in the area?
back door entrance, but sure.
That's the first thing that I would pick up if I walked into a house and there was a shoe rack there. I would instantly think that you want me to take my shoes off, and I'm not coming in now. That's it. I'm out of here. Who are you?
He's
I
left.
don't even know whose house this is. I've had a few too many.
Goes on to say, don't leave a small amount of toilet paper on the roll. If you're going to use the toilet, you need to use the toilet paper. Don't leave just a couple of sheets hanging off the roll. But that's awkward if you're a guest in the house because might not know where they store the toilet paper.
No, and you don't want to yell out.
No.
Because that means that you're using toilet paper.
Hey, do you know where... You got any toilet spray as well? Got any fresh rolls? It's a horrible feeling, isn't it? Don't put your feet on the furniture. This one annoys me because I had kids, like mates, when we were younger, and they'd come in and they would sit on the couch and they'd put their sneakers on the puff
What?
or the coffee table.
My God.
Or, worse still, they'd sit with their feet on the couch
It's a
with their
poof,
with
isn't
their
it?
sneakers on. Well, let's not argue about the pronunciation of the
but see,
word.
that's your close friends. I can understand that. When let's say you're watching the footy or something, you take your shoes off and you can put your feet up on someone else's couch. But not if you hardly go around to somebody's house.
It says to leave a gift or a note if you've spent more than one night there.
Tom's left a few gifts. Oh,
I was waiting for that.
I've never left a gift in someone else's house.
It's not like a guest book. You're not staying in a B&B.
It feels a bit much to buy a gift, doesn't it?
It's too much.
Go the extra mile and leave a small parting gift.
Imagine if you left a guest book
You could
at the front of your house every day with your shoe rack. Hey, just on your way out, can you leave us a review?
If you wouldn't mind leaving
You're
a
not
review.
renting. This is your house.
Well, just if we sell it one day.
We just want to go back one day and just go through all our reviews.
What's it like living here? Well, read the book. Read the book. Now you want to buy it. Of course you want to buy it, all right? Don't be a pig.
It's a great idea.
All right, 13 24 10 if you want to have a crack too. Carol, Canterbury. Worst thing you've seen at someone's house, Carol?
At my house, guys, I have that horrible shoe rack out the front.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I expect kids when they come to take their shoes off because they're feral little things. They run through everything.
Yeah.
My house is relatively new. It's only 2 years old.
Okay.
We have tiles on the floor, not carpet. I
Yep.
don't like carpet. But if you come to my house, I wouldn't expect you to. It's up to you if you want. I don't make you take it off. But I do expect tradesmen when they come
Yep.
to have their boots covered.
Yep.
And also, too, if I went to your house for the first time, I would take you a bottle of wine as a gift. To say
Carol,
thank you for having me.
Oh, just
Carol's
dropping in.
Carol's got this sorted. So, Carol, can I ask as well? So, 2 years, is there a time limit you think it is where you go, okay, now people can wear shoes in the house? Is it 5 years, Carol, or you don't know?
Oh, look, I don't know. People can wear shoes. Like I just said, I wouldn't expect you to take your shoes off.
Yes.
But the kids, yeah, because they just run through anything. They've got no sense of anything, really.
Yeah.
Little kids, they just run through grass. They step in dog shit, excuse me. And, yeah, you know what I mean?
Carol, maybe you could have a bit of a list at the front door where you say shoes off.
Next to the guest book.
Next to the guest book, you've got a shoe rack there as well. I mean, it's pretty busy at the front door. You'd be lucky to get in at the moment. And then there's a list that talks about shoes off, where the toilet paper's kept, if in doubt, right? And what's
Guys, I've got lots of people that live with me. I've got 13 people that live in my house.
What do you mean?
You know? Yes.
Who, Carol?
Well, I've got 4 of my kids living here.
Yep.
And my son's got 4 of his children living here that live with us.
Wow.
And then my daughter's got her boyfriend living here.
Oh.
My husband and myself. So, yeah, so we have a party every day. So,
Oh, my God. Oh, my
Carol,
God.
you are a superstar. How many bedrooms do you have in the house?
I don't have a cleaner and I have 9 bedrooms.
Oh, my God.
freak.
You do have a
Andrew.
cleaner. It's you, Carol. You're full-time.
Yeah, full-time cleaner. Two lounge rooms, yeah.
How much is your shopping bill for the groceries?
We don't earn enough to buy food.
Tom.
The food is massive.
Prize
Food is
list,
massive.
please, for Carol.
I tell you, if she's getting first class and 50K because she's in the running as well, she's not taking any of the kids,
Yeah.
that's
No,
for sure.
why?
Why don't we do $100 to spend at Woolies as well, guys? We'll chuck that in.
Oh, guys, no.
Wow.
It's all right. It's all good.
Oh, I don't want the
you.
prize. If so you can.
Carol, you're a superstar. You can have that, Carol.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're a lovely
Kids
lady.
will appreciate it. And it's my birthday today. Today's my birthday present. Thank you.
What, Carol, this has just worked out perfectly. Book for Holiday U this summer.
Because Aussies act a little different on holidays. More daring, relaxed, and sometimes more fancy.
And What If has all kinds of accommodation to suit your style.
Book your next getaway on the What If app. What If? It's Aussie for travel.
Yeah, we've been speaking about quitting quite a bit on this show, haven't we?
Yeah, it's where you give the old corporate ladder the boot and you just do the bare minimum.
Well, yeah, do I want to be working for the man? Do I...
Bare minimum.
Do I need a bit of work-life balance?
Yep.
Do what I need to do at work and get through it, do a bit of work from home and spend more time with my family and travel a bit more.
The other side of the quiet quitting is having your actual job, your official job, your employment, but then having a side hustle until your side hustle comes big enough so you can then actually not quite quit, you can quit.
No, there's a new buzzword in town, man.
What do you got, man?
Some bosses are suspected of quiet firing, and the trend seems to be on the up. So your work, they're not taking your quiet quitting anymore. This is a recent piece in the Wall Street Journal suggests that companies that wanted to shed staff were getting canny, leading to some employees to a certain extent just firing themselves. So let's go through it. Quiet firing happens when managers fail to adequately provide clear expectations, feedback, support, career development and recognition for an employee in a way that makes them feel ignored and pushes them out of an organisation. What are you laughing at, MDG? In a worst case scenario, quiet firing happens when managers allow employees to have truly toxic or miserable experiences at work as a way to squeeze them out. It's a form of gaslighting.
So it's like, I mean, if Tom was to drift off, it's his last day on Friday.
Yeah, gonna miss you guys.
But we don't give Tom any recognition, any benefit or anything.
Thank you so much, guys.
So, Tom, you kind of, for the past 10 years, haven't read the signs.
Do you want feedback, Tom? We can give you some now.
Yeah, no, well, your feedback to me involves swear words. So I'll just,
And a headlock.
And just a large latte, one sugar. Thanks, Tom.
on the way, sir.
Okay, let's go through some of these quiet firings. A key one is pay. Many organisations go through lean times and employees are often told pay rises are tricky. That's not quiet firing, but if you haven't got a pay rise for years, through even the non-lean times, that could be quiet firing.
Okay, sure. So
Enough?
that's indicating that your worth at this business hasn't grown at all.
Another would be a manager failing to praise or even criticise your work. At least if they want you to do better, there's a sense that you and the role are important. No feedback can suggest you're barely noticed.
It's really just, I mean, if you put this in a married at first sight sense, which I like to apply to everything these days, this would be like Dan being as cruel as he can to Sandy, so Sandy dumps Dan. So this is so you're treated so badly that you just quit. We never fired him.
Yeah.
No, we didn't fire him.
You make the experience so bad that you
we
let them
loved
quit.
Darren. He was fantastic. He quit. I don't know why.
Or a gradual freezing out of an employee from projects or a transfer, or you transfer their responsibilities to someone else to make them feel bad about themselves.
God.
That's a form of quiet firing as well. Apparently Facebook is suspected of doing this quite a bit at the moment. They're just getting rid of people. They just don't want to work there anymore.
And I had a job at Channel 9 when I was recently out of school, and I was in the staging department, so I'd just set up different shows like, hey, it's Saturday, and I'd put the seats together and a few of the props and things, and then I don't think I was that good at the job, but I wasn't that bad, but I kept saying to the guy who was in charge of staging, hey, mate, I've got a lot more time on my hands at the moment. If you want to check the schedule and get my name on it, you wouldn't believe it. I've freed up plenty of hours. There were no hours for me. I don't know why.
How's this one an insider at Facebook? This is how they do it. What they do is that they pick out the 10% that they don't really want there, and they all give them low performance review scores. Then they put them on a PIP. We were talking about PIPs the other day.
Yeah.
Performance improvement plans.
Not incentive.
That they just feel like they're inadequate, and they're like, oh my gosh,
I'm failing
do I
again.
really want to listen to this bloke saying that I need to perform in this area
Stuff
a bit more?
that, man. I'm
out of here.
going to Snapchat.
You want to leave, do you?
Oh, well, he's walked off on us, hasn't he, fellas? I told you he wasn't loyal.
It is very concerning when you run through that list, Fitz, and you realise you might be being quietly fired. No pay rises for a few years. Reduction in responsibility, shall we say.
I was hoping
MD
you wouldn't comment.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that Legend's Hour. What about it?
MDG, if you could just look around behind you there and look at that whiteboard with your performance improvement plan,
Yeah, check the
we haven't been able to tick off any of those this week.
No, it must be behind. Oh, I'm going. Oh, no, I won't say anything. I can't. No, don't say anything.
You were great. I mean, your performance so far of recent times, you were out at a course stadium the other day with the girls and everyone screaming. That was just to get you out of the building. If you didn't read that sign,
That
it
was a
to
bit tick.
remove you from the premises.
Actually, literally being sent out of the building.
Yeah, I mean, when you go for a wedding and you take 2 weeks off, I mean, and it's your long-lost cousin, I think that's kind of from a performance point of view. I'm being a bit honest.
One thing
now,
we
aren't
can
I?
agree on is that no one in this show would be quietly fired.
Well, you're close. You if you're going to go, you're not going out quiet though, MDG. You're going out screaming.
Go on.
Yes, you're screaming.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
There's been a emergency rescue, and thank God in this situation, once again, they were able to come up with a bit of a one-liner referring to alcohol and having a couple of beers. We've spoken about this before on the show. Remember there was a couple of guys, Derek and Tony. They were off Port Lincoln in SA, and they were lost at sea for a long time. Like, they'd called off the search and said, hey, Derek and Tony, they ain't coming home.
You know what happened with them?
What happened?
So they went missing for days. They got rescued.
Yep.
One of them went missing again
Oh, yes, afterwards.
and was never found.
He died.
He died.
They got no idea where he was.
No, it was like 2 weeks later he went back out on the boat again and got lost again.
Hey, Derek, I think you should rethink things. I mean, this was the moment he was embraced by the family.
I don't know if I want to hug him or if I want to go up and kick the shit out of him.
But his relatives, when they heard they were coming in, they got an esky full of bourbon and they went down to the dock waiting for him to arrive in the boat to be dragged back in.
Wood
and then had a couple
socks.
of tins, they had a couple of wood
That was
socks.
Port Lincoln, South Australia. Proud of those boys.
A couple of black rats, and mate, they ripped into it and happy to be alive. Well, until Derek went out again. Come on, Derek. I mean, we have spoken about... I spoke about the Mufti, remember that? Where there was the guy, and he was captured by the Taliban, and the Mufti went over and negotiated his release, and the first thing he said, this Aussie bloke, a Queenslander, was, where do I get a beer around here? Like, it's just this great one-liner.
It is.
Great one-liner.
That first sip would be pretty nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's the best thing about a beer. Am
What's that,
I
the first-
right?
the first sip.
The first sip.
First sip's the best thing about any drink.
It is.
I
and then
agree.
after that, you sort of just go,
Isn't it funny how
it's
certain
just
drinks...
a social thing, isn't it?
certain drinks suit certain
People?
no, certain events. Like, I don't know why. If I've ever played golf, I'll always have a lemon squash. I don't know why. If I'm at the airport, I'll drink a Bloody Mary. I don't know why.
You wherever we go, you always have the one drink.
Normally I'll start on a beer. It depends how I'm feeling about the night. If I want to play it really safe, then I'll just drink beer. Because I'll know that it's not going to have a huge impact
What's
on me.
your drink again? I forgot it.
Whiskey.
No. Your
Aperol Spritz.
Aperol Spritz.
Love a Spritz when the sun's out.
Do you have an Aperol Spritz at a pub? Do you?
Would I? No.
No, it
not
doesn't look right.
Really. I'm not worried about what it looks like. Yeah, you can have a Spritz at the pub.
Oh.
Most tradies, most brickies.
If you walked into the front bar, right, and ordered an Aperol Spritz on a Friday arvo,
Yeah. You would find most tradies, most brickies, right? They will go from site, right? Probably still with a high vis on. They'll go to the pub.
don't
They'll
think they
sit
will.
at the pokies and they'll have an Aperol Spritz.
I don't think they
13,
do.
24, 10. Are there any tradies that go on a Friday to the pub for an Aperol Spritz?
Do you know what? This just defends the argument that you're having that you are a builder. You're not.
Well, I'm not. I haven't been on site for a long time, guys. I'm spritzing up. Anyway, these two blokes in Western Australia, unfortunately, you're not going to believe it, their boat started to sink. It capsized 300 metres off Garden Island. Panic, because this was on Sunday morning, very early in the morning. The thing was, there was only one thing to grab onto, mate, to keep these boys afloat, and that was the esky. So they've grabbed a giant esky as the boat's gone down, and they're just floating in the water, holding onto this esky.
Well, you couldn't let the water get into the esky.
No, you
'cause then
couldn't.
It's not floating anymore.
Must have been a good esky, though. I bought a new esky the other day. It's got 4 drink holders on top, so in the lid of the esky.
Is it a Yeti?
No, it's
You
an
know those
esky.
Yetis?
Yeah, that's the competition, isn't it?
I was watching Clarkson's farm last
yeah.
night, and,
Go on.
and Clarkson was standing there watching a local soccer team that he had sponsored.
Yep.
And he had I don't think I've seen this in Australia. He had a 6-pack cooler that was just on a shoulder strap.
Yep.
So he just had it under his arm
Nice.
there, and the beers were just sitting there in a cooler, sitting there like that. We have little 6-pack
Holders.
eskies,
Yes. Yeah.
but we don't have ones that just go over your shoulder
the
and you
ba-
just
mate,
pull
the bag's
individual.
popular.
Is it? I've never seen
Is
it.
it
I've
like
got a
a
bag
man?
as well.
It's like a man bag.
It's a
is
man
it?
bag with 6 beers in it, just in a cooler there, and you just pull out
Wow.
one by one by one. I was like, how is this not a thing in Australia?
That's quite clever.
Very clever. Won't save your life in the water.
These boys, though, MDG, they were found arms clinging to this giant green esky. As they were pulled on board, one of them says to the guy rescuing them, "Hey, I hope the other esky's got beer in it. This one's just ice and bait." So the boys were thirsty. One thing on their mind again.
That was
life and death moment.
I did see this story, and I thought that's a good effort. Then I did read that they were only out there for half an hour.
Were they? So they were that desperate for a drink after half an hour.
They got rescued after half an hour.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
What are you more scared of, snakes or spiders? Suppose you don't have the interaction with snakes like you do with spiders. I mean, they come into my world everywhere. Spiders all over the place at our joint.
Spiders, they can move real quick. I mean, snakes just slither. You know what? The only way a snake's going to go you is if it feels threatened at all. And the first thing you do, if you just freeze, like where we grew up down at Port Nalunga, the boys were jumping down a sand dune, and Beastie, the dog, was down at the end. Lenny jumped down, and Beastie started like mucking around and scratched him. Lenny started crying, and I thought, oh, I know why you're crying, because there's a brown snake right next to you. Lenny hadn't seen it yet.
Oh, God.
Hadn't seen it yet. And I thought to myself...
King Brown.
Do you know what I'm going to do? Because I didn't want the dog to see it as well, because dogs go snakes.
Yeah.
So I just said, I'm just going to not say anything at all. And the boys walked away from the snake.
Well done. No panic. There was a whole lot of wasps at our place yesterday. Now, what does the wasp do for this world? Like, I understand a bee, you're making honey. Well done. You're busy as anything, and you're working within your community, and you're making honey.
Don't they pollinate as well? Do wasps do as well?
I don't think they do. Tommy, talk me through
they help pollinate plants and flowers.
Bees are doing it, mate. We don't need you, because you sting harder than ever. At least we don't have hornets like the States. Hornets are huge.
Well, our wasps are just as dangerous, aren't they? I'm very proud of our wasps, so don't have a go at them.
No,
please.
I'm not interested. How's this? Now, I've spoken on the show before about how to keep a snake out of your house, is that if you've got a gap under your door, what you do is you put an egg inside the house and you put an egg outside the house. So the snake will eat the first egg, go under the door, eat the second egg, and then it'll be caught. It can't go fully under the door because whether it goes backwards or forwards. Can a snake actually reverse up? I don't think it can.
What a load of crap.
That's how you stop a snake getting into your house.
So you just have two eggs?
Yeah, one outside the door, one inside the door. It'll be jammed. Can't go either way. You'll find it in the morning going, I'm stuck. I am stuck. But you can't open your door.
Has anyone ever had a snake inside the house? I don't think we've ever.
Well, Matty Wright, when we were talking to him and he was talking about his wife who woke up.
He lives in Darwin, mate.
Yeah, I know, but still, there was a snake in the corner of the room and then one on the bed. Anyway, I was trying to work out how do snakes actually get into the house, right? You're talking about a fat tubular thing. How do they get into the house? Where is that? If you've got your windows and doors shut, I reckon you're safe from a snake. That is until Mark Pelly, the snake hunter, came out and shared some footage yesterday. Have a listen to this.
I'm frequently asked how snakes enter the house, and I'm showing you exactly how. Eastern brown snakes, even a large one like this, have the ability to flatten themselves out and gradually squeeze their way underneath an entrance door to the property. I frequently find them inside the houses in Australia in summer.
Since when can a snake flatten itself out like it's been run over by a car?
Well, I suppose
snake.
It can
flip a little sneaky snake.
Similar to an octopus, can't it? It can.
No, it's nothing like an octopus.
Yeah, but
nothing.
But it can. It would be able to change its body to get into a hole.
I mean, it can open its mouth wide, like it doesn't have a connected jaw, so that a rat or a mouse or something larger than its mouth can actually fit into its body. Jess, who has some snake facts here in the studio.
We had a huge snake going along our side fence. It was a diamond python.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it was remarkable because it came out and the top of the fence is only 5 centimetres wide. This snake just slithered the whole way, didn't lose its balance once. It shot out of a hole so small from the neighbour's roof, came across maybe 2 metres. It would have flung itself onto the fence and then just up into the tree. Freaky.
That's what scares me. You don't know what they're possible of doing. Now that you find out that they can actually flatten their body, you're going to look at the bottom of your door and go, oh, there's a small gap there. In the past, that wasn't a concern to me. Now it is. Do you know, there was a friend of mine, she's in Byron Bay, and they had a couple of diamond pythons, Jess, in her roof. She called the snake handler and said not only were they mating on the balcony, which I didn't realise could happen, I didn't realise snakes had penises like that.
They do love a view.
They love a view. A beautiful balcony, nice barbecue setting, pizza oven, and a built-in cold chest for your drinks. Yeah. So they were having a fantastic time and they were mating on the balcony. They were living in the ceiling. They rang the snake handler and said, can you come and get these snakes out of my ceiling? It's freaking me out. And he said, all right, I've got an option for you. I can remove those pythons from your ceiling and living in your roof there, But I need to let you know, those pythons keep the bad ones away. So your brown snake and your red belly black snake, they will stay away because the pythons are there. So what do you want me to do?
I'd get rid of the snakes, I reckon. I don't know.
Let the bad ones come in?
Well, how often are you getting attacked by the browns and the red bellies?
That's a really good question.
Is it every day that you're having a battle?
Well, it depends how nice your barbecue area is on your balcony. I don't think you're at war with them. I don't think that's the case.
Trenches!
I'm not saying it's a daily battle, but if you want to keep the dangerous ones away, keep a couple of friendlies upstairs.
I think that's an urban myth, isn't it? It's the same as the huntsman. Leave that huntsman in here. He eats all the bugs.
I don't care. No, he's too big and he's too hairy.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Let's talk about Chris Rock, his stand-up routine that he's got going now. He's touring and this is his new show. Obviously talking about Will Smith. But, you know, I was surprised. I thought it would be kind of more punchline Will Smith. He's gone to town on Will Smith.
He's talking about Jada as well, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole family and the way they do things. This is only a couple of highlights from his new routine. Have a listen to what he says.
Will Smith practices selective outrage. And then for people that don't know, and everybody know, his wife was her son's friend. I normally would not talk about this, but for some reason these put that on the internet. We all been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. Everybody in the world called him a bitch. Charlemagne called him a bitch. Breakfast Club called him a bitch. And The View and The Talk and every rapper, everybody called him a bitch. And who's he hit? Me. Will Smith. My whole life, he's made some great movies. And now, I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. Okay?
He goes for about an hour talking about Will Smith.
How expensive would it be to have the band behind him as well?
Don't worry about the orchestra. Ignore the orchestra. Focus on what he's saying because there's a guy in a harp. We're dressed as black tie holding a martini. I don't know, man. It's just part of the audio. I want to see the whole thing. I got to watch the special because it's full on. It is really full on.
Yeah. Well, he had to address it at some stage. And that's a Netflix special. So this was his way of going, all right, I'm coming out.
Yeah, I'm coming out and talking about it.
Doing all my jokes.
Yeah, with an M16. I'm going really hard.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
I only just realised with Fitzy and Wippa.
All right, guys, Toblerone. We all know the chocolate. We all love it. Now, a little bit of information for you. Not only it's been in the news overnight because they are saying you need to remove the Matterhorn, which is the mountain on the Toblerone packaging, because the chocolate, although Swiss, will now be made outside of Switzerland. So they said, if you're going to do that, give us the mountain back. So that's going to be removed. What's interesting too, though, in the picture of that mountain is a hidden bear. I don't know if you've seen that. If you have a look at the Toblerone logo, you will see in the picture of the Matterhorn, you will see the bear.
What's the bear got to do with the chocolate?
Bear is, for some reason, quite a symbol in Switzerland. I don't really know why. Here's the more interesting part. Can you see the bear Fitz as Tommy holds it up? It's like a bear climbing up the mountain.
Yeah,
there's a bear in there.
I've always wondered.
Yeah, well, now you know, mate. Here's the thing. The business, the chocolate company, was actually known as Tobler, right? And then they made their first batch of chocolate, and internally at the factory, they called it Tobler 1, as it was the first sample that they'd ever made. They then sent it out within the business, and everybody started going, Toblerone. When it's actually Tobler 1 was just the labelling for the first batch of chocolate that was ever made, and they had to change it because it became so common that everybody referred to it as Toblerone.
There you go. Your Swiss chocolate facts right there.
Fact.
Vanessa in Barrel, what did you only just realise, Ness?
Hey, I only just realised that a high five is called a high five because it's a hand slap up high using your 5 fingers.
No
High five.
Don't feel silly, Vanessa.
I knew the fight. Well, if it's four fingers and a thumb, but yeah, that's the. I mean,
that's self-explanatory.
It's a start, Ness. It's a start in Arella and Horsley Park. What did you only just realise?
Hi, guys. Well, I just realised sucking on a lollipop is enjoying your own saliva.
It's a flavoured saliva, though. It does. Yeah.
Still your saliva.
Yeah, but the flavour is not coming from your saliva. The flavour's coming from the lollipop.
I know, but you're still sucking on that.
No, it is. I mean,
well, you're swallowing your saliva every second of every day.
The moisture in your mouth is your own saliva.
Which it is now.
It's flavoured saliva, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what?
That's weird.
It's like, when you bring up a loogie, right?
Yuck.
There's a lot of... some people swallow it. And there's a lot of people who go, yuck. But you do it every day, mate.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's like, you can say lollipop, but if you put chicken in your mouth and you taste it, then it's in your saliva. Yuck. The chicken flavouring that you're eating is in your saliva, so you're having your saliva. And it's like, I can't understand, one, why it's specific to the lollipop, and secondly, your mouth swallows saliva every second of every day. So far from the high five and the saliva, I'm not impressed.
He's not happy. Can Peter impress you from Norellan? What do you only just realised?
Hi, I've only just realised that windmills actually aren't for, global cooling.
Yeah. But you are live on the radio, which is important to point out. So anybody recognising your voice may be having a bit of a giggle at you right now.
This was done. I have heard about this. There's a lot of people out there that think windmills are giant fans that cool the earth down.
Yeah, I thought they were giant fans to cool the earth down for, global warming.
Oh, my God. Jess, could you search for that bit of audio? It was from a podcast, and the guy thought that the giant wind turbines, right, a windmill often is a water pump, right? It's just a water pump that's generated by the wind and the turning. But wind turbines, have you got it there, Jess? Have a listen to this confusion.
I'm talking about the wind turbines for global warming. What? I thought that's what they were for, no?
Yeah, because it is for global warming because they're trying to stop...
cool down the Earth.
Oh, my God.
Oh, is that what he thought? You thought it was like a fan, basically. Bro, just wear it. No, okay, wait, hold on. Listen, what about... I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
That's what he goes, bro, just wear it. Just wear it.
I mean, that happens on this show every day.
Are we going to go to Ellie in Quakers Hill? All right, Ellie, what did you only just realise? Round it out for us.
So I only just realised that hot water doesn't actually come in trucks. It's actually heated by the heater thing.
Oh, my gosh.
Ellie, when have you seen a hot water truck? How did you think when did you think the hot water got delivered to your house into some tank somewhere?
Maybe it's a magic man arriving in the evening, I don't know.
Ellie, where is your head? Where are you at? How old are you, Ellie?
Oh, God, 30.
30?
Oh, no.
So you went through school, you went through your 20s, you hit 30, and you went, man, when's that hot water truck arriving again?
Well...
Yeah.
Do you know what, Ellie? Just for getting on the show is in the running for first class at 50k, and if she wins it...
she's not winning.
It'd be unbelievable. But what are we going to go here? You've got to choose one. $250 to spend at Ribs and Burgers, mate.
No, I don't want to choose one. The idea is not to sound stupid on the air, and I'm trying to say this is a very inclusive segment, but we've had 4 stupid people, Ryan.
Oh, man.
You choose it. I'm angry.
I'm going to go Peter and Norella, and you've won $250. Ribs and Burgers. All yours, Pete.
Thank you.
No worries.
Good on you, Peter. Well done.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Finally, we've got one here in Sydney, and I found this out today in Kitchen Confidential. I love Tuesdays because...
you love Kitchen Confidential?
Well, Spotted, paprika...
It's the where the celebrity likes to eat best.
Yes.
Section that really gets you.
Day on a plate?
Guess who don't sue?
Did you?
Turmeric may have been seen around a stir fry on Friday night.
Guess who don't sue? When we were in COVID times, what was the insert they had in the paper?
We can't. What was it?
Man, it was so good.
Oh, that was good.
With games and puzzles, and there was like... And no, not at home where there was like 10 Sudokus.
No, anyway,
things to do.
Kitchen Confidential today. Finally, Sydney's home to Australia's first ever cryptocurrency bar.
How does it work?
So it's called Crypto Lulu, and it's in Circular Quay. So it's like the prestigious Soho House in London. Oh, I don't reckon it is. The public will be able to enter Barlulu. However, only those who purchase a token on the blockchain will gain access to the membership club.
So it's more like an NFT.
So you need your ID and a password to get into the club. You can order a cocktail, but then you just sit there and you got to work out if it's really there or not.
I've seen this in the States.
So
and they do it in London. There's a really popular Japanese bar, and it's like the cool place to go. But you can only go there if you have a membership. But the membership is an NFT. So if I own the NFT and I'm a member at this Japanese bar, then you can come to me and say, "Hi, I want
you're a wanker.
I want your membership," right? So then I go, "Okay, sure, I'll see you my membership for $10,000." So that's kind of how it works.
Right. So
I've seen that.
If I wanted to buy a drink, and
it's got nothing to do with crypto.
Right. So you don't go to the bar and say, this beer is worth 11 Ripple. And then halfway through it, you don't have that 11 Ripple anymore.
Can I get half a beer?
And so it gets taken from
Why
you.
is that? It dropped again.
Now
Now it's gone up. Can I get 5 beers? Quick, really quickly.
And I'm going to hodl these beers real tight.
Instead of happy hour, they have hacking hour where you can steal other people's memberships.
Is this your gear?
They're quiz nights. They've got a quiz night.
Drum roll.
Where they don't ask you the question, you ask them questions about where your money has gone.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
There's
Get the timing right with the
no,
drum roll.
sorry, it's toss the boss. Oh no, sorry, it's lost the boss. If you've lost more Dogecoin than the owner, you get an NFT of an esky chimp.
Where's the drum roll, mate? That was terrible.
No, it's more just the payoff. You just want the boom tish.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just the boom tish.
Oh, I've upset the currency boy over here.
You haven't upset me at all.
Oh no!
How have you upset me?
I'm so sorry. Can you get us memberships?
I have nothing to do with Crypto Lulu. Do they call it Crypto Lulu or do they just shorten it to Lulu?
No, it's Crypto Lulu. It's in Circular Quay.
I can't get you in, mate.
Can we have a
can't get
team
you in.
lunch, please?
Well, you'll need to buy an NFT. Speak to the management there.
what?
Well, that's the membership, isn't it?
What is? But
That's how these things work.
Isn't that a visual?
No, it's because it's blockchain. It's blockchain technology.
It's so confusing. Is there an area in the bar where they actually explain it to you?
I think it's one of those, if you have to ask, you probably...
Yeah, you don't go
You're probably
there.
not welcome.
You're probably not going.
Man, I don't understand it.
Crypto Lulu.
Lulu Crypto.
Now, what do you reckon? It'll be sort of shut down by sort of July?
Could
I
be.
don't know. I don't know.
It'll be volatile, obviously. It will do well one night, and then the next day it'll fall off a cliff.
Didn't they try and open something like that in Potts Point a while ago? Does that still exist?
I don't know the crypto chat.
Sounds like you do.
Let alone the Potts
Sounds
Point
like you're all
bar
across it.
scene.
No, it's what I
My
brought it
God.
up to get some more info.
Yeah, you're always learning.
I know.
Like a sponge for life. Always soaking it up. We got more pink tickets tomorrow, Tommy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No crypto, but we've got pink tickets, guys.
Why don't we give
So-
away? Can we give away?
Yeah, one of
A
your
membership?
one of your Bitcoin.
Crypto Lulu.
No, don't give away my Bitcoin.
He's lost his password.
Off to the tip
There was
again.
another story I saw the other day of a bloke who had 200 on a hard drive. And he got all his mates together.
What could go wrong?
He got all his mates together to go to the tip. He's got 10 mates going through the tip. Oh, what a horrible feeling.
The Fitzy and Wippa Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.